Good morning, everyone. Myself K. Kiran Kumar, working as lecturer in EC department. Presently working at Jawaharlal Nehru Government Polytechnic, Hyderabad. Currently, we are discussing receivers unit in Analog Communication System. Presently in third semester, C18 curriculum. Just we'll quickly recap what we told in the last session. We told about automatic gain control, and similarly we have seen what is the need for AVC or AGC and what is the circuit diagram of AVC. That thing we have seen. And similarly at the last 5 to 10 minutes we have seen what is a AM demodulation and what is the circuit for AM demodulation for ideal case, that is theoretical case. Just briefly for 5 minutes we'll discuss the topic, then we'll go for the practical AM demodulator. Upon completion of this lesson you will able to know about demodulation and AM demodulation and circuit diagram of simple diode detector, working principle of diode detector. So these are about a theoretical diode detector, and then we will see what is a practical diode detector, and similarly we will see the circuit diagram of practical diode detector and working principle of that one. First, as we know, so demodulation is a process of extracting original information or message signal from the modulated signal. This modulated signal, as you know, it will contain carrier along with the sidebands. In the case of AM, these sidebands will having the original message information. So therefore, after receiving the modulated signal from the channel, the receiver first it has to, after selecting the desired frequency, then after amplifying to the required level, then we have to extract the original signal at the last before driving to the loudspeaker or transducer. So at that point we are removing the carrier from the incoming signal. That process is called as demodulation, and it is reversed to the modulation process, because in the modulation we are adding the message signal with the carrier to travel up to the long distance, and similarly to reduce the antenna size. Because of the so many advantages, we are done the modulation at the transmitter, and this demodulation is also called as detection. Now we'll see AM demodulation, then we'll go for FM demodulation. AM demodulation is a process of recovering the original message signal or information signal from the amplitude modulated signal, so which will contain two sidebands along with the carrier signal. This achieved by a simple diode detector circuit. In this one, diode will be used as a rectifier, that is a main element. Now if you look at the diagram of the simple diode detector, here as you able to recollect the diagram of TV receiver, in that one, so after IF stage detector will be there. So here therefore for detector or demodulator, IF input will be the input. Therefore from the diagram, the IF output from the IF stage will be given to the, here it will be given to a coil, those it is like similar to transformer. So after that one it will be given to diode D as shown in the figure. Then it will be given to a R and C combination. At parallel to R we are taking the output voltage. So at the resistor we are getting the output voltage. Therefore in this one, if you look at the diagram once, here Vs, if you see this one, so here this envelope is called as V0, and here this total signal, that is towards output positive side, negative side below reference, that is called as Vs, that is input voltage. If you look at the diagram once, now just we will explain the working once again. Therefore in this one, diode is a common device used for AM modulation. In this circuit, just our assumption is C is a small capacitance, R will be large. The parallel combination of R and C will be acts like a load, we can say load impedance, across which rectifier output voltage will be developed. So first we will see the ideal case or theoretical case. Diode detector produces an output signal that will be same as the envelope of the input signal, as I told in with the red mark in the figure. During the positive of cycle, and for the diode will be forward bias. Now we look at once. So here positive of cycle means this transformer will produce positive of cycle here. So during the positive cycle means this will be plus, this will be minus. Therefore here you will get plus and this side you will get minus. Therefore this plus will be connected to anode, this minus will be connected to cathode. Therefore diode under forward bias. Whenever diode is forward bias, therefore it will be in the on state. Therefore current direction will be always anode to cathode as shown in the arrow mark. Therefore it will flow through the capacitance. So whenever current flows through the capacitance, so therefore what is the from the property of the capacitor will start charging. Here since the assumption is capacitor value is small, therefore capacitor charges to the input voltage of Vs very quickly. That is whenever diode is forward bias or on state. So this is about positive cycle. Right. So adjust rapidly to the peak value of the input signal. When input signal falls below the value, that is whenever input signal below the zero value, or we can say cut-in voltage of the diode, as you know, diode will be on after cut-in voltage, that is 0.7 volts for silicon, 0.3 volts for germanium. In this case, since we are considering ideal case, that is V gamma equal to 0, means whenever positive cycle is there, diode will be on. Whenever input signal goes below the reference, that is whenever it is going towards the negative side, diode becomes reverse bias. Then what will happen? Now current will not flow, therefore diode will be open. Therefore the charge present at the capacitor will be discharged through the resistor R, that is called as load R. The discharge process will be continuous until next positive cycle, because when next positive cycle will come, once again diode will be on, once again capacitor will charge. Therefore whenever once again negative cycle will come, diode will be discharges through, capacitor will discharges through the resistor. So and this process will be continued until input cycle is present. Now this capacitor voltage or detector output V0 is very nearly same as the envelope of the AM waveform. So here the waveforms are given here. Here input waveform will contain AM modulated signal. Here output side will only contain rectified one. Rectified signal because during positive cycle only we will get, during the negative cycle since diode will be off, therefore only we are getting the waveform as shown in the figure. Now just look at practical diode detector. The unwanted components are removed here. The diode has been reversed so that the negative envelope is demodulated here. This has no effect on detection, but it does ensure that negative voltage will be available. So this is about the practical diode detector. A small changes in the circuit, that is resistors and all. Here the resistor R is split into R1 comma R2 as shown in the figure. So this is the R1 and this will be the R2. It ensures that there is no series DC pass to the ground for the diode. At the same time, a low pass filter will be added in the form of R1 and C1. So this R1 and C1 will form a filter. This filter, as a function of removing any RF ripple or high frequency ripple that still be present. The capacitor C2 will act like a coupling capacitor, so it will couple the signal to the next circuit, and similarly it will opposes the DC flow and it will allows the AC. The combination of R3C3 is also a low pass filter which removes AF components, providing a DC whose amplitude is proportional to the carrier strength. This DC voltage will be used for AGC. So this is about the practical diode detector. So now if you summarize quickly what we told, so we have seen what is a demodulation and what is meant by AM demodulation. We have seen the circuit diagram of simple diode detector, and we have seen working principle of simple diode detector in ideal case. Then we have seen disadvantages of simple diode detector. Then we have seen circuit diagram of practical diode detector, working principle of practical diode detector. So this is about the demodulation, AM demodulation. Now just try to answer this one. Diode detector is used to detect FM, PM, AM and none of the above. Answer is diode detector will be familiar to use for AM. In receiver, which stage rectifies the IF signal? So this is not related to demodulation, but it is related to the, so answer will be, sorry, this is related only because it is stage rectifies, sorry, not amplifies, rectifies. Therefore answer will be C, that is detector or demodulator. So because in the detector diode will be the major element, just like I told just now in the working. During the positive of cycle, diode will be forward bias, therefore diode will be on. During the negative of cycle, that is whenever input voltage is less than 0 voltage, then it will be reverse bias, therefore off. Therefore diode will allows only positive of cycle and doesn't allow the negative of cycle of input. Therefore it will act like a rectifier. Now there are some of the important questions from this topic. What is AM demodulation? Draw the circuit diagram of simple diode detector and explain the working principle. Draw the circuit diagram of practical diode detector and explain its working principle. So this is about the AM demodulation. Now we'll move on to the next topic. Now we will see FM demodulation. Now after completion of this lesson, you will able to know about FM demodulation or detection. Then we will see the function of the FM demodulator with the diagram. Then we will see the different types of FM demodulators. Then we will see what is a function of demodulator, what is the output of a demodulator. Then we will see circuit diagram of Foster-Seeley discriminator, working principle of Foster-Seeley discriminator, various frequency band used in the radio receiver. These topics we will cover now. First we will see FM demodulation. FM demodulation will be used at the receiver to remove the carrier. Just we will see what FM is. As you know, frequency modulation, where carrier waveform frequency will be changes according to the amplitude of the message signal, where phase and amplitude will be remain constant. That is called as frequency modulation. So in the frequency modulation, the bandwidth required for this one will be very infinite, but approximately from the Carson's rule, that will be equal to 2 times of delta plus FM. Means that will be depends upon deviation and maximum modulating signal frequency, which is very high compared to the AM demodulator. AM modulation, whereas in AM the bandwidth maximum will be equal to 2 times of message signal frequency. In this one, in the AM compared to FM, it will require less bandwidth. So that thing we have seen that one. So here what I want to tell is, after doing the modulation by the process of FM, it will contain infinite sidebands theoretically compared to AM modulation. Therefore, in the FM demodulation, we have to recover the message signal by removing the carrier. That is the process of extracting modulating signal from a frequency modulated signal is known as frequency modulation, demodulation. The electronic circuit that perform demodulation process is called as FM demodulator. Now just we will see the function of this one. It converts frequency modulated signal into corresponding amplitude modulation circuit by using a frequency dependent circuits. Frequency dependent means the circuit whose output voltage will be depends upon the input frequency from which modulating signal is detected. So this is a simple function whatever you are doing in the FM demodulator. The original modulating signal is recovered from AM signal by using a linear diode envelope detector, just as we seen in the amplitude demodulation. First we will see different types of FM demodulators. The first one will be slope detector. Next one will be phase discriminator. First we will see the slope detector one. The principle of operation of the slope detector depends on the slope of the frequency response characteristics of a frequency selective network. Slope means general in the mathematics it is a y coordinate value by x coordinate value. Suppose example, if you take a linear waveform, the slope value will be equal to 1. So these are the two types. First one will be single tuned discriminator or slope detector. Next one will be staggered tuned discriminator or balanced slope detector. Next then we will see phase discriminator, in which we will extract the original modulating signal from the frequency modulated wave. So in this one the major type will be Foster-Seeley discriminator, and next one will be ratio detector. First we will see Foster-Seeley discriminator. This is called a center tune discriminator or phase discriminator. So based on the invented person, that is Foster-Seeley, this is called as Foster-Seeley discriminator or also phase discriminator. Because of the circuit application and operation, it is also called as center tuned discriminator. So the means all the three names are same, that is phase discriminator, center tuned discriminator, and or Foster-Seeley discriminator. Now just look at the diagram of that one, Foster-Seeley discriminator or phase. This is the diagram of FM detector. Here as shown in the figure, FM input will be given at this side, output will be taken on the that last side, RS. Here there is a input side, there is a center tap transformer. If you look at the diagram, just guess where is that one. So this is the diagram of center tapped, because at the center there are three terminals are there at the secondary side. So 1, 2 and this will be the third, exactly at the center of the secondary coil. So that's why that is a center tap transformer. After that it will be given to remaining circuit, which will contain D1 and D2. After that it is a combination of R1 C5, similarly R2 C5. So finally output will be taken here. If you see this one, it is similar to like a center tapped full wave rectifier. It is similar to that one. So these are the phasor diagrams in this circuit. If you look at this one, so majorly in this one V1, so V1 will be the secondary voltage from first winding to the center. Similarly V2 will be the from the next from the below point to the center as shown in the figure, and similarly V3 will be the voltage across the coil, V1, V2, V3. So based on that one, these are the diagram for that one. So from the center tap transformer, maybe you know that one, the input voltage will be divided exactly into two half voltages with out of phase. That meaning is, suppose if whenever 10 volts is given, it will be divided into two equal halves, that is 5 volts, but both are opposite sign, that is one is plus 5 volts, another one will be minus 5. Therefore V1 is the first half, V2 will be the next half. Therefore that's why V1 V2 are drawn in opposite side. V1 will be above the reference towards positive side, V2 will be towards the negative side, and here V3 will be now if you look at the diagram, this V3 will be equal to V1.3 and V2.3. So these are the 1.3, 2.3. So based on that one, 3 will get. So that is drawn in this one. So this is exactly, so that is one is carrier frequency. Next diagram will be above the carrier frequency, and next one will be below the carrier frequency. So because of above carrier frequency, the circuit diagram slightly changes. Not exactly, this is the V1, exactly opposite to that one, V2 will be there, and remaining all will be same. Now we'll look at the working principle, then we'll see that one if you want. The FM signal is applied to the primary of the transformer, that is T1. The primary and secondary windings are tuned to the same carrier frequency with C1 and C2. This FM signal is passed through a C3 and directly appears across the RF choke, that is L3, whichever is middle of the center tapped winding at the secondary side. The voltage across V3, that is V3 is same as the voltage across the primary winding, because it is a combination of voltage coming from the diode D1 and diode D2, that is from the two windings of the secondary. Therefore this voltage will be equal to the primary winding. Now as I told, from the center tap transformer, the secondary winding is center tapped. Therefore V1 will be exactly out of phase with the V2, that is V1 will be equal to minus V2. The voltage induced into the secondary is 90 degrees out of phase with voltage across the primary. This means the voltage V1, V2 also be 90 degrees out of phase with V3. And remaining circuit except the center term, as we know the diode, exactly it is same diode, because in the A modulation, since we are taking only the positive half cycle or positive half cycle, that's why one diode is there, whereas in this one two diodes are there. So that is during the positive half cycle, so D1 will be on. Just I will quickly go to the diagram. So assume that positive cycle is given. Right, assume that positive half cycle is there, plus minus. So here at the output side also it becomes plus minus plus, this is minus. So because it is a center tap transformer, it will divide into two equal halves with opposite sign. So this plus will be go to this one, and similarly this minus will go to D2. Therefore so this will be on and this will be off. Once again I will draw neatly. So positive cycle, So this becomes plus, minus, plus, minus. So why I am drawing plus minus because just now, so because of the center tapped winding at the secondary side, it will be divided into two equal voltages of opposite sign or out of phase. Therefore this plus sign is connected to D1, this minus will go to D2 anode. So from the working principle of diode, therefore diode 1 be forward bias, diode D2 will be reverse bias, therefore diode will be on. It will act like a short circuit. Since diode is under reverse bias or open circuit, therefore it will be acts like a open switch. And similarly during the negative of cycle, just to see that one, assume this is minus and this will be plus. This becomes minus and this becomes plus, minus, plus. Now if you look at this one, since minus is connected to D1 and similarly plus is given to D2 anode, therefore now D2 will be on, D1 will be off. The meaning is for one cycle one diode will be required, so that it will allows that particular cycle only, that is positive of cycle or negative of cycle. Therefore the conclusion is during the positive cycle diode will be allows the current to into the V3, that is RFC choke. Similarly during the negative of cycle diode D2 will allow the, or it will provide the path to get the output voltage. Right. So the voltage V1.3 that is applied to D1 R1 C4 is sum of the voltages of V1 and V5. Just the voltage V2.3 will be sum of the V2 and V3, and similarly V1.3 will be sum of V1 and V3, not V5. So this is 3. So this will be 3. Therefore V1.3 will be the sum of V1 and V3 as shown in the figure, and similarly V2.3 will be sum of V2 and V3. Therefore during one half cycle the primary voltage D1 conducts and current flows through R1 and C4, therefore capacitor C4 will charges. Similarly during the negative cycle D2 will conduct, now current will flow through R2 and C5 and capacitor C5 will charges. The voltage across R1 and R2 we are considering it as some VA and VB, and these are identical because V1, V3, V2 and V3 are same. Since these voltages are equal but of opposite polarity, the voltage between A and ground is 0. The secondary of T1 and capacitor C2 form a series resonance circuit. Therefore voltage induced in the secondary appears in series with that particular winding. At resonance, the current flowing in the circuit exactly in phase with the voltage induced in the secondary. If you know the look at the resonance, from the resonance, series resonance, voltage current will flow through the circuit will be in phase with the voltage. Now the output derived from the portion of the secondary winding which is in inductor, therefore the voltage across the secondary winding is 90 degrees out of phase with the current in the circuit. So since as you know the capacitor and inductor will be having the phase 90 degrees phase, that maybe lacks the voltage. If input frequency is exactly equal to the resonance frequency V1 and V2 will be 90 degrees out of phase with the V3. Otherwise the phase relation between V1 and V2 will be changes according to the V3. right? If input frequency increases, just now I told from the phasor diagram, if input frequency increases, inductive reactance will be more because xl equal to 2 pi fl, x equal to 1 by 2 pi fc. So since we are considering frequency more, therefore inductance reactance will be more compared to the capacitive. If the input is above the resonance frequency, here we are assuming resonance frequency will be the center frequency. Above that one, therefore, just now I told, inductor is a leading and whereas capacitor is a lagging one. That is because of the inductive reactance is more than capacitive reactance. So therefore, above the resonance frequency, V1 leads by a phase angle of 90 degrees theoretically, but practically somewhat less than the 90 degrees V2. Therefore, and similarly V2 lags by V3 by an angle of more than 90 degrees. Therefore, V1.3 will be more than V2.3. As a result, VA will be greater than VB. Therefore, net output will be positive. Once again, whenever we are taking center frequency or resonant frequency, exactly because VA will be equal to VB, but both are opposite sign, therefore output voltage will be 0. But whenever input frequency increases, therefore XL value is more than the XC, therefore if you see this one, V1.3 will be more than the V2.3. The result, VA will be more compared to the VB. So therefore, net output will be positive because VA minus VB. Now if you see the reverse way, that is whenever the frequency is less than the center frequency, now what will happen? V2.3 will be more than V1.3 because now capacitive reactance is more compared to the inductive reactance. But theoretically the difference will be 90 degrees theoretical, but practically it is less than 90. As a result, VB will be greater now compared to the VA, therefore net output will be equal to VA minus VB, therefore we will get some negative. So based on this one, we are drawn the phasor diagrams whatever we told. So if you draw the what we told from that one, if you draw the curve response of the Foster-Seeley discriminator at the center frequency that is mentioned with FR, net output will be 0. So after that, if whenever input frequency increases, so since VA value will be more, we are getting positive voltage, so that's why it is increasing towards positive side with some red mark. Similarly, whenever input frequency is less than the center frequency or resonance frequency, so because of the capacitive reactance, output will be negative, that therefore it will go below the 0 value, that is mentioned with black color. So this is about the response of the circuit with frequency. Therefore, whenever input frequency increases from 0 less than the resonance frequency, the output voltage will be negative. Therefore, from negative it comes to 0 whenever it reaches the center frequency. Whenever input frequency increases more than the resonant frequency, now the output slowly goes to the positive side because of the inductive reactance is more than the capacitive reactance. Now from this curve we are telling some points once again. The output voltage at point A, that is whenever frequency is less than resonance frequency. As the frequency deviates above and below the center frequency, that output at point A increase or decrease, and therefore original modulating signal is recovered. And after that one, this above signal will be passed through a deampasy circuit, which is a combination of resistor R3 and C6. Just see the diagram once. here the final so this is combination will be called as de-emphasis, because if you look at the diagram of AM detector, this de-emphasis is not present in the AM, because only in the FM, to improve the signal to noise ratio or to decrease the noise effect, we are doing pre-emphasis at the transmitter, and similarly de-emphasis will be used at the receiver. That will be done after demodulation. Right. Right. This discriminator circuit is sensitive to input amplitude variations. For this reason, the amplitude variations must be removed from the FM signal before applying to the discriminator. This is why parallel tuned in the primary of the T1 is converted in the collector of a limiter amplifier Q that removes the amplitude variations from the FM signal. Or in the FM, before going to the demodulator circuit, it will be applied through a amplitude limiter which will remove the amplitude variations. After that, it will be given to the Foster Seeley discriminator. So this is about the working principle of Foster Seeley discriminator, which is a very popular used in the FM demodulation. So these are the some of the bands used in the radio receiver: medium frequency band, short wave band, and FM frequency band. This medium frequency will be in the range of we can say medium frequency band. That is, this band will varies from 535 kHz to 1650 kHz. The mostly vised IF value in this one will be 455 kHz, as it is a standard value of IF, which is a constant used in the AM broadcasting. Now similar to that one, short wave one, this is the frequency range from 3 to 30 MHz. AM, SSB and other receivers employed for short wave or VHF reception as a first IF, often in the range from 1.6 to 2.3 MHz. So this is the range of IF in between 1.6 to 2.3 MHz. Now if you look at the FM frequency band, so this is also standard. This is the range from 88 to 108 MHz. So it is used for many applications like FM radio broadcasting. This receivers uses a constant intermediate frequency of 10.7 MHz. Therefore, up to now we have seen FM modulation, demodulation. Just will quickly summarize whatever we told. Right. Therefore, in this topic we learnt about principle of FM demodulation. Similarly, we have seen function of FM demodulation, and then we have seen different types of FM demodulators, and then we have seen Foster Seeley discriminator, which is a very important in FM detection or FM demodulation, and it is also called as phase discriminator, or also called as center tapped FM detection, because in this one center tapped transformer is a major element. Then we have seen circuit diagram, and similarly we have seen working or operation of the Foster Seeley discriminator, and then we have seen finally various frequency band used in the radio receiver, that is AM and FM, that is medium wave band, short wave band, and then we have seen FM band. This FM will be and AM will be both are still we are using in the radio receivers. Now just so with this one we'll complete the demodulation. Based on this one, just try to answer these simple questions. And the first question, the Foster-Seeley discriminator is used in AM receiver, FM receiver, both AM and FM receiver. Option will none of the above. So only relevant option will be B, that is FM, not in AM. Right. Slope detector is used to detect AM, FM, PM and none of these. So this is also one of the method in FM demodulation. Therefore option will be B. The short wave, that is SW frequency band, has the frequencies in the range of 1 to 100 megahertz, 3 to 30 megahertz, 30 to 300 megahertz, 300 to 3000 megahertz. Mega means, as you know, mega equal to 10 power of 6 hertz. So answer will be 3 to 30 megahertz. Right. Next question. The FM frequency band has the frequencies in the range of so try to guess. First option 88 to 188 megahertz. Next 80 to 100 megahertz. 100 to 200 megahertz. 88 to 108 kilohertz. So answer will be A. Next question. The medium frequency band has the following as the frequencies in the range, that is frequency range of medium frequency band. Answer will be so that is related is 500 to 1650 kilohertz. In this one the relative answer will be C. So that is about the small important questions. Now there are some of the important questions from whatever we discuss. Among this one, very important question from the exam point of view is draw the circuit diagram of Foster-Seeley discriminator and explain its working. So principle involved in FM demodulation. I hope you can tell this answer. First FM will be converted into AM, that is by using the frequency dependent circuits. After that one, by using the simple diode detector, it is converted into modulating signal. Then some list the medium frequency, medium wave, short wave and FM, that is frequency modulation frequency bands used in the radio receiver. So these are the some of the questions in the present topic. So with this one, just we'll stop this topic. In the next session, we're going to discuss about noise limiter, FM noise limiter circuit. That we'll discuss in the next session. So therefore, just I'm ending the class. Okay, thank you very much.